It's the Full Force News Burst, proudly brought to you by Battle Action Force, the Treasury editions. I am your host, Christopher McLeod, aka Diagnostic 80. Now let's get into the news.
Full Force!
Hi. Welcome to the show. Sorry, something weird is happening, and I can't get my graphics to work. There we go. Now they're working. That's annoying, isn't it? Hello, everyone. Busy day. As you can tell, I'm like sweating and everything. It has been a busy one, hasn't it, for GI Joe? Obviously, we had preview night last night. We had Walmart Collecticon this morning. We had the panel. We had the press breakfast. We had all sorts kicking off, and of course, with that, loads and loads and loads of reveals and all sorts of crazy stuff. So, yeah, it's been a day, and also on top of that, I was doing a blooming live stream with Lenny and Tony for Boss Fight, which was really cool. Sorry, bear with me 2 seconds. I'm not ready for this today, am I? Which I did earlier today, of course, with the guys for Boss Fight Studio and Walmart Live, which went absolutely cool. I really enjoyed that, and yeah, hope if you didn't get to check it out or catch it, it's still streaming. Well, it's you can watch it again on multiple platforms, Facebook page, Walmart Talk Shop Live. Where else can you view it? Our YouTube channel. So if you want to go check it out, you can. Anyway, it's been nuts and it's been non-stop today. It's been ridiculous, hasn't it? It's been because it's one of those things where I had to sort of have one eye on things going up for pre-order. I had to obviously have most of my attention on the boss fight stream. And then on top of that, there was information and videos and pictures and all sorts coming through, in the most, you know, annoying times where I can't do much about it. So I shared as much as I possibly could. But to be fair, I was waiting to gather today's information and basically discuss it on the show because I figured that would be, um, you know, far more, important than sharing everything that 500 other places are sharing at the same time as well. And we've got lots of talking points today, loads. So we will get into it. That's a weird thing to say, Tags. Do you need to be banned? The boss fight stream was great. A lot of cool stuff. Fun to see, hear you three. Yeah, it was cool. Twister kissed. I was off screen, obviously. I have survived day one, Squishy. Great work on the BFS stream. Thank you very much, Scott. Great to see actual camaraderie. But might I suggest you get a mic off camera? Couldn't hear your plugs well. We did. I did ask early on if if I could be heard clear enough, and was told yes. So we didn't bother with that. But yeah, I will. We won't be doing it necessarily the same way next time. We'll do lots of other different things with that one. Stanley saying, still waiting for my BFS live stream shout out. I literally read your comment out on the stream. I was able to get. Oh yeah, well let's talk about Lara Croft and all that cool stuff as well because there's loads to get into. So we'll be here for a while, but let's do it and let's start, of course, with an explosion. Right then, so starting the old recap, lots to get stuck into, but we'll start with Walmart Collecticon. Even though preview night obviously came first, we will talk about that in a second. Kai Trucking says, had no clue Lara Croft was available today. I was able to get to Entertainment Earth. Yeah, I will get on to Lara in a little while. But yeah, again, there's a lot of like I said, there's a lot of talking points tonight, so we'll do it, bit by bit. Yeah, all of these are good talking points, guys. We'll get to them as we get to them. So starting with Walmart Collecticon and the nice little additional kind of surprise, which I did hint at a number of times on previous streams, including the last news burst. I said there was going to be something special popping up that we didn't know about, but it would be kind of like a basically a surprise drop. And lo and behold, this is exactly what I was talking about. The Range Viper. Now, this is a reissue, complete reissue, no change to the figure in whatsoever. Deco is still exactly the same, loadout still exactly the same. It is effectively the same figure, just reissued. However, they have put it in the modern window packaging to kind of go along with some of the more modern releases in the kind of current area. Um, I'm sorry, I'm seeing some of your comments, guys. So yeah, this was a nice one, and I think this is one of those ones where the fandom is very appreciative. I mean, I was very happy they were doing this again. We actually it was an interesting one actually, because usually we talk about the shipping data, like when certain things hit port and they're public knowledge, we will report on them. And one of the things that popped up was Wes Elliott, which is the obviously the old code word for this particular figure. And it hit port like a number of months back now. And well, I'd probably say a month ago, just over a month ago. And when I saw that it hit port, I was going to do one of those, posts where it's like, oh, all of these things have come in, sort of thing. And I happened to reach out and just say, I asked basically what this was about. And I was asked if I could not talk about it. And so I very politely went, okay, I won't mention that this particular thing had hit port. But effectively, it had hit port with a number of other things we posted. I think it was Dusty and Sandstorm, Legacy, Avalanche Rescue, etc., etc. So they all hit port, including this random Wes Elliott. And I was like, huh, that's kind of crazy. Are they doing a reissue? Is something else happening? And yeah, lo and behold, it was a reissue, which is great. Yeah, I was also told it was going to be in the newer packaging, and we get this window box version of it. So yeah, if you struggle to get a Range Viper previously, like I did get one, but it was one of those ones where it was like, I'm never army building this, and it just didn't seem to disappear off the face of the earth. This one, Big Ben was also a little bit quick in the old sellout situation, but seemed to be a little bit more accessible than the Range Viper. And on top of that, I believe it was Shadow Tracker, who also was with Walmart, and also seemed to be really short in the quantities department, because he was in and out, shake it all about. I actually missed out on Shadow Tracker, and trying to get one of him was an absolute pain in the scrote. And massive shout out to Paul at Plastic Battles Panthalone for hooking me up with the Shadow Tracker a while back now. But that was one I missed out on, and was, again, like I said, happy to grab one in the end. But I was really excited that this was coming out as a reissue, and I was very, I was very respectful in the wishes of the team to not mention that it had hit port. And yeah, so sorry for keeping that from you guys, but I did want to let you know that would at least be a little surprise drop. So I've been trying to kind of like hint at it for a couple of episodes now. Anyway, that's cool. And of course, the original front of the box is now the back of the box. So we have that Range Viper sort of render where they're in the jungle, and you've got like snake armors all over the place in the background. I'm just kidding. That's an in joke. What number is Range Viper? I believe 73. I want to say 70 something. It's 75 or something like that. I can't remember. I can't actually see from this angle. I think it's 76. It might be 76. Let me have a better look, because obviously looking at the screen is actually a little bit difficult. Yeah, 76 for the Range Viper. Now, and it's so old, I've put it on the listings, but the listings are F numbers. It's that old. 3 years ago, guys, this came out. Isn't that crazy? Absolutely insanity pants. So there you go. That was fun. And of course, like I said, there's the packaging, there's the usual scenario, and this is the figure, unchanged and beautiful. So I can't wait to add a couple of those. Thanks, Pulse. Managed to get a couple of those and a couple of Night Force psych outs just in case. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, same number, new packaging, basically. Right then. Will they be doing this to all of the figures that didn't have windows? Probably not, Checkpoint. they're only really going to reissue things that people are struggling to get. So the Range Viper, the Vamp, the first Vamp is getting a reissue at some point. But obviously that'll be the same box and everything, I imagine. But yeah, there's a few things that'll get that treatment, but they're not going to do everything that didn't. I mean, that would be crazy. Anyway, there you go. So that's Range Viper. We also got beautiful promo images of the wonderful Night Force Psych Out, and I've got to say, I have been like reinvigorated on this figure even more so with these images. Obviously, the render was one thing, the ecom white background images were another. And again, I was very excited when those ecom images were posted on Walmart on the listing. But again, Shooting the Galaxy, I believe, did an absolutely phenomenal job with these. And one thing I will say is now seeing this, now I understand and definitely think I prefer now the ripple effect on this shield. Because like I said, I'm not sure if you were all watching on the last news burst, but I had seen an early concept or an early input of this particular figure a long, long time ago, and it had more like hexagonal design on the shield, as if it was sort of like your kind of Marvel Cinematic Universe sort of thing. You know how they have like hexagonal sort of energy shields and things like that. I think Guardians of the Galaxy is what springs to mind more than anything, um, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, the seeing the images and the specific images that we'll get to in a second really show why I actually now prefer this ripple effect, because it feels like it makes sense. Like it feels like when he's blocking something, it's creating that ripple effect, like he's blocking a blast of Diatech or like some other psionic energy or something. Of course, he is rocking psionic energy, but yeah, I don't know. I just think it's really cool. Um, yeah, honeycomb, basically SES dog. Yes, yeah, like hexagonal shaped sort of vibes. It's pretty cool. Um, Yeah, yeah, we'll get to Lara Croft in a little while, guys. Don't worry. Like I said, I'll try and keep things structured in the episode today, just so that we cover everything. And if you have any questions about Lara Croft, obviously, will be a huge section regarding her very shortly. Um, Now, also the head sculpt looks really cool in these images as well. It must be the lighting hitting like some of the angles of his face a little bit differently, but it gives him like way more personality. Really love it, and I thought I'm falling in love with this figure more and more. And it's not even these images that with the Sonic shield, even though it looks cool. There's another couple of images where he's like kneeled down and he's using it to block something, and it looks so good with the ripple effect that I am now sold on the ripple effect more so than that early kind of hexagonal design that I was really digging initially. I think because it's sort of carried on his very basic radar dish kind of situation. So I'm not as kind of bothered that he doesn't have ridiculous radar dishes all over him and a lunchbox with a radar dish as well. But who knows? Maybe we'll get a retro version of him in the future. Not in 2027 though, by the sounds of things, but we'll get to that in a second as well, won't we? Um, Right. Yeah, this in Tiger Force would go hard, Jeremy. Absolutely. I'm almost certain that we'll get standard issue, Mogadishu, psych out. So we'll get the green and you know, the wheels and the bus go round and round. We'll get the green and all the other stuff. But in terms of Tiger Force, I would be very excited for that. But who knows if they'll how and when they'll get to kind of Tiger Force again in the future. Um, Nothing to say they can't do it in mainline. You know, they could do it in multiple different ways. But yeah. Anyway, there you go. Twisted Kisters. I kind of wish all the Night Force team had their logo somewhere, like an arm patch or vest patch. Well, most of them do. Um, they have it's like the Griffin regiment patch, isn't it? It's a Griffin on a globe holding a flame, sort of like protecting, etc., etc. So I think, well, last time I checked, Psych Out is still he was still in stock on Walmart. He's sold out on Pulse, obviously, because they only have like 3 of them. Um, In terms of the Night Force logo, though, it does show up occasionally, but it seems to be more of this other patch that they rock, which has got this kind of like griffin on it. I'm not sure if Psych actually has that. I haven't looked, but you might do. Um, here's the shot. This is the shot that when I saw it, I'm like, I get it. I see it. I feel it. Toy photography vibes. Just yes. Like him doing that and like covering it, it just everything is so well positioned here that it just looks so natural, doesn't it? Like the ripple effect, like he's just blocked it and it's gone, you know, it just looks really good. So this is what sold the ripple effect to me more than anything else. Because obviously it's not always, you know, the ripple is there as an effect. Like it's psionic energy in my head anyway. It's a psionic shield that when it hit wobbles a bit, and this feels like the energy that it's like impacted something, and that ripple effect has happened. I could be wrong. It might be one of those things. You might see it differently as well. You might see it like emanating from a certain center point, and it creates those ripples as it emanates. You could, I mean, there's lots of different ways you could kind of look at it. But when I saw this, I'm like, yeah, this looks so good, so good. Um, and yes, of course, we all know that in terms of Walmart exclusives, there is a serious issue with canceling orders, with you know, struggling to kind of distribute them properly. That thing of like, you know, they'll cancel the order, but then they'll show up in stores, and you kind of think, well, how? Allocations, obviously, but it just seems to be, yeah, like a bit of a that's something that needs fixing. If you ask any collector, will tell you that. But it's one of them things, and it's like hard to like how the hell is that going to change? Because at the end of the day, it's kind of hard to to see them caring about this one tiny element of their business. But anyway, you know, it is what it is. We have to work around some of these issues a little bit, don't we? So that's why I try very hard to get them on Pulse when they go up. Anyway, anywho's and Susan, let's move on. Beautiful shots of Le Psych Out, which is French for the Psych Out. Next up, we'll get into preview night. So obviously Hasbro at San Diego, of course, at San Diego Comic Con, and they had the preview night set up. Now, shout out to Travis Moody, who was sending me images all night long, all night and all morning and all day. So thank you very much, Travis, for all the images. I've reposted as many as like that came through. Appreciate you sending them to me and through the panel as well, which was great. And also shout out to Anthony Petrie, whose artwork is adorning the San Diego Comic Con kind of like booth for Hasbro, and it is incredible, including um what was I'm not sure if you guys noticed this. Go to Anthony Petrie's Instagram page. He is the artist that's done lots of stuff for G.I. Joe and Boss Fight Studio, I may add. It was Anthony who designed our beautiful, wonderful new logo and branding. So shout out Anthony Petrie for being just absolutely sensationally good at what you do. But he not snuck in. I'm not sure if he snuck them in, or I haven't got an image of this, sorry, but you'll have to check it out on his Instagram page. Scroll through the post where he's talking about his artwork at Sdcc, and you'll notice that on one of the panels that he drew and created, there is Tendril from Inhumanoids, a Battle Beast, and an Army Ant, and there's another thing. Oh, and Leoric from Visionaries. So there's a few sort of like cheeky little, and it's all in one little grouping as well. But you got all these like really cool, you know, like sort of peripheral brands. And yeah, I just thought I saw that and I'm like, oh, that's great to kind of put in at SDCC on a kind of massive scale like that. So yeah, fingers crossed we get loads of other cool stuff. Now I'm you know almost certain that obviously Visionaries is being licensed out currently with Super 7, so we're getting Visionaries O-ring figures, so obviously that's makes a lot of sense. Battle Beast is one of those things that sort of like tends to sort of like stick around a little bit and pop out every now and again, with the connectivity with Transformers and what have you. And in Humanoids, it's just nice to see in Humanoids something just randomly as well. So anyway, that was really cool and love it. Hi, it's me says, hello, is that the disembodied voice of Boss Fight Studio? Very funny. That's a nice little inside joke there if you got caught the stream earlier. Anyway, very, very cool. And I just wanted to shout out Anthony Petrie for being phenomenal. Now, preview night, I got some lovely pictures here. But Big Bad Workshop are just absolutely killing it. Now, they did NPC, like, non-playable characters, but it's like a line of figures that aren't necessarily characters as such, but they're sort of like, types of people, right? Kind of generic NPCs is the whole idea, isn't it, really? So you have like, a cheerleader, and you have I can't think of any other things that were on there now. That says a lot about what I was paying attention to, doesn't it? But they have loads of cool stuff, including news anchor, aka homage here, I think, to Hector Ramirez, which I think is really cool. I think this one might be a purchase for me. Now, I was hoping, and it still might happen, but I was hoping that, in some future time, that's also a little bit of foreshadowing for what's coming next. But I was thinking in some sort of future time, we could get a kind of like almost like a what do you call it? A Dio sort of set where you could have a Hector Ramirez character figure with a studio around him, like like a sit down studio, maybe like a camera and all that kind of jazz. And Scoop could be in there as well. So Scoop Hector Ramirez 2-pack with, like a studio sort of news studio set. And you could effectively have both figures in that particular set. I think that would be so cool. Que sera, sera. Here we are. And Big Bad Workshop is doing a kind of Hector Ramirez figure. And I just thought this was so dope. Holding a little cigarette as well. Phenomenal. Is there a Joker set, Roger X, which is a studio? I haven't seen that, or I haven't been paying attention. I think I vaguely recognize what you're talking about, but I can't. Not 100% sure. I'll have to check that out. That should also be a perfect suit to slap the Crimson Twins head on for the EE look. That's not bad at all in an idea, Bad Wolf. Yeah. Roger X is from the movie. Okay, I'll have to check that out. I don't think I've seen that. I don't think I've seen it. Who made that? It was $200 from McFarlane originally. Oh, right, damn. I have not seen that. How did I miss that? Although there's so much stuff that comes out, I'm only focusing in one direction a lot of the time. Anyway, so that is, I don't know, Stanley. I think Hector would be like an exclusive, like a con exclusive if they did Hector Ramirez. Like it would be, like I said, him, a studio, and like Scoop would be really cool, I think. Oh, neat. Yeah, I'll have to check that out, Roger. The Joker set for sure, because I have missed that 100%. Anyway, Hector Ramirez vibes, love it. I've got more than 20 questions about that one. They also posted the long-awaited, and I've been waiting to see these buttes for a long time, on the next Cops and Crooks figures. Now, Long Arm, Dr. Bad Vibes, and Buzz Bomb were like name only. Well, Buzz Bomb was actually revealed to be coming when shortly after Bulletproof was revealed. So we got Buzz Bomb on like a panel shortly after the wonderful Bulletproof figure was sort of revealed. And my God, that is a great figure, by the way. He's up in my classified collection. I'm gonna, if with these Cops figures, they're gonna be incorporated in the classified lineup, because I just love Cops, and I feel like it's the same universe. It's just in the future. So because obviously you've got all that connectivity in the bios with, like, Beachhead and being Checkpoint's like grandfather, I think. So there's lots of really cool little connective tissue in there. And Long Arm, damn looks good. Like, I am so excited for other characters in this line. I'm really excited for, like, Big Boss even. I mean, how dope's he gonna be? Like, massive as well. Like, he'd have to be like a deluxe figure, but I'm really excited for Big Boss. I'm really, really excited for Buttons McBoom Boom if they get to him. Drop down, chest cannons and everything, Kitty said. Nightshade, Mainframe, Sundown, Bowser and Blitz, Mace, Highway. Like, there's so many, and it's like it's one of those things where you can't really go wrong. And they've like when I first heard that these characters are coming, Long Arm and Dr. Bad Vibes and Buzz Bomb, I kind of was like, interesting way to go. Interesting way to go with like that particular like lineup for the first figures to kind of drop. But now that I've seen them, I'm here, man. Yeah, Nightshade is in fact in on the intro, Nightshade is with Buttons McBoom Boom when they're breaking in to a safe, and then he sees a butterfly and tries to shoot it with his machine guns, and she grabs him and pulls him out of there. But yeah, you might already know that, JR Parker. You might have been just going Nightshade in more of a Nightshade rather than asking who Nightshade is, but it's hard to tell in comments, so I'll cover my bases on that one. Drop a beat under that list, and you got something, Chris. Indeed. What's up with the Range Viper jumping to the top of polls today? Range Viper restock, yeah, reissue, yeah, a little surprise drop on that one. Oh, you were mixing it with a Marvel character, Marnes. Okay, cool. Anyway, brilliant, 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 brilliant long arm there, including the little handcuff in his little launcher on a chain thing, which is so cool and incredibly dangerous. Da, 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 da. That intro as well, one of the best intros in cartoon history. Visually stunning. Like basically like breaking down the whole teams and the bad guys and everything. So good. And the music is just fantastic. Anyway, I see, Scott. Yes, now I get what you're saying now. You are absolutely right in that they only have the rights to do the action figures, and if they don't, if they didn't show up in the action figures, they can't do them. That's a very, very good point. That is a very, very good point. So yeah, that's so yeah, Mainframe can't be in there, Silhouette can't be in there, Nightshade can't be in there. Very, very good point. That makes me a bit sad now, realizing that, because I didn't know about the action figure exclusivity, sort not exclusivity, but the action figure specificity of the trademark that they've got for this. But that kills me a little bit because I've always wanted a night. I've always thought Nightshade was really cool. And Mainframe's pretty dope as well. But there's still a lot of cool figures and toys, little figures, and even possibly vehicles if they ever get to those. That would be pretty dope as well. I mean, imagine that friggin' helicopter. Hot damn. Anyway, enough of that. Let's move on to Dr. Bad Vibes, who again, absolutely freaking awesome looking figure. Hugely toyetic, Dr. Bad Vibes anyway. Very quirky and interesting in the style and the design, but I love there's so much personality in that head sculpt. The shades are on point. The exposed brain in the kind of cone like cranium thing is just insanity. Paul says, Chris, why did the Range Vipers have to be back at Walmart? Twice I've missed out on this one. Yeah, sorry about that, dude. Yeah, that obviously it's got nothing to do with me, but yeah, I think it's just down to the fact that that is a Walmart exclusive figure. I don't know how how it works legally. If they if could they have kind of just put it out in sort of mainline? Would that have made a bit of difference? It probably still would have sold out. But yeah, I think the worry is a little bit more about the Walmart aspect. But yeah, I there must be something to do with the legality of that particular character, that particular action figure. Anyway, Bad Vibes, dope, love him, think he looks fantastic. They've done a great job on him here for sure. And of course, Buzz Bomb, which I'm assuming Buzz Bomb and Dr. Bad Vibes will go together, but I have heard that might also be separate. I don't know the detail on that. Either way, I'm getting all three of those or the two of them. I'll be getting these figures, no doubt, because that bulletproof is fantastic. They are articulated very much like classified Crimson. Yeah, they fit right in actually. Like he looks so good in the classified lineup. Bulletproof. Huntress says Dr. Bad Vibes looks like a Dr. Mindbender project. Yeah, he does actually. Paul says, as a Canadian, Walmart exclusive figures are not easy to get. As an American collector, they ain't easy to get, Paul. It must be even worse being in Canada for it. Crimson said, Range Viper should be on a retro card, then it wouldn't have been exclusive. Yeah, they might have had to change it slightly. I think the whole point of them doing like a complete reissue is more the issue here. But again, I don't know the details on that one. That would have to be a question to, and probably a question they could never answer to the team on that one. Right, so that's love those. Think they're great, and of course a cheeky little Kraken vibe of a character that also popped out as well, which I just wanted to get an image of and thrown in here because again, like little Palatoy vibes, and of course the Palatoy sort of logo on there too, which is pretty cool, the Red Shadows one. But anyway, a nice Kraken option, and also a little bit Krulos, isn't it? A little bit from Dino Riders, Krulos from Dino Riders. But anyway, there you go. Stanley says, is Arctic Bat on current packaging too? Don't know until it comes out. I believe the Arctic Bats were hitting port to fulfill orders that were already out there. I don't think they were. I don't think it was a reissue. I think it was just actually fulfilling orders, Stan. So that's why we haven't really heard much about the Arctic Bat, other than it hitting port. So yeah. Any info on Fury Force? Fury Force being the Big Bad Workshop Larry Hama figures, right? With the old kind of the first GI Joe sort of proof of concept that wasn't really GI Joe sort of thing, that was eventually became that. No more information that I'm aware of. That I know. Sorry, Checkpoint. I don't know if there's any more information they came out with. But yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to highlight some specific ones that I really like the look of. Yeah. Range Vipers in the new modern window packaging, Huntress. Yes, correct. Roger says, I've had an Arctic Bat wholesale order open at Entertainment Earth since 6/1/2023. I imagine, Roger, that is what they are trying to fill. Orders that are kind of still open in certain areas, for sure. I don't know when Fury Force is slated, Huntress. I don't. I haven't seen anyone posting on BBWS stuff today. I don't know if they have a panel this weekend or not. I don't either. I don't know if they do. I actually don't know, Marneus, if the Kraken figure is Big Bad Workshop. Does anyone know in the comments? Because I was sent this, and I have seen other posts of it, but I've been so preoccupied with other things, I haven't had an opportunity to really, find out details of a lot of things that aren't GI Joe related, obviously. But I'm really just highlighting things that have caught my eye and tickled my fancy. But I believe it is Big Bad Workshop, as people are saying in the comments. Monster Force. Thank you. It makes sense, obviously, doesn't it? It'd be weird to just do a random one of these when they're all kind of kicking off with Big Bad Workshop. But anyway, I'm really vibing with what Big Bad Workshop are up to. They're doing some cool stuff. So anyway, just wanted to kind of put that out there. Now, shall we get into some actual GI Joe stuff? Because this is obviously preview night images. Thanks again to Travis Moody, sent me these last night as well. So yeah, awesome stuff. So let's continue into pre-order night. But before we do, a quick message from our sponsor. Yes, you can get your Battle Action Force Deluxe Treasury Editions from TotalToyBooks.com in the UK and Europe, Skeletron.com in the US, and Amazon for the rest of the universe. Now, images from the booth. This is preview night images. They change, obviously, as we move through this vast array of images. Here we have the bivouac with Flint and Jay. Jay's doing something very dangerous over there, fishing off the edge of like the cliff. It kind of looks like she's got one foot on a bit of the. It's kind of interesting. They use the light up skateboards as shelves. Did you notice that? It's kind of fun. In any case, she's being very, very dangerous there. And again, yeah, these are just elements from the upcoming Snowcat. This is the bivouac that comes with it, and of course the alternate heads for Frostbite, Jay, and Flint there as well. Looks like they've just. It looks like the Predator's been through, taken all their heads, and yeah, and that's what the bivouac looks like. Very cool. We also have the Snowcat as well, and there's Frostbite giving it some Legacy Avalanche Troopers as well. Avalanche Troopers, Avalanche Rescue. They're not troopers at all. And a random polar bear head in the top left-hand corner there. Can you see that? There won't be any more reveals, right? I don't know about that, Crimson Cobra Commander. We're gonna have that. They like to do the occasional sort of like reveal or bring something out to the floor for another day. So it's not 100% locked down that there won't be anything new to show or talk about or whatever. So yeah, because it is only Thursday. We're in Thursday. Does it feel like all of the GI Joe stuff has happened already? Obviously, we've got Skybound panel to come as well, specifically for Transformers, GI Joe, and the Energon universe. So I'm excited to talk about that as well. But there are Snake Armors, Huntress, later on. There will be Snake Armors. You watch. So anyway, there's the Snowcat, the Avalanche Legacy rescue response guys as well. One of them needs rescuing himself. It's like a inception of legacy avalanche response, isn't it? It's like this is the loop. This isn't they're caught in an infernal loop where one is rescuing the other, and then it just goes round in a loop like that. Amazing stuff. Todd says re-release classified snow job or retro card. I like that idea, Todd, of a retro snow job. So we could get an all white deco, get kind of like some of the grey elements off him, just to make it like classic style. Pare down some of his accessories, maybe retroize some of them. So get him like a more retro backpack, more retro snowshoes, possibly, that we could then utilize with the snow serpents would be kind of cool. And that would be a way I would say if they did that, that would be I reckon Snow Job retro figure would sell out because I think not only would people want him, but they'd also want his snowshoes if they did snowshoes with him, so that you could use them for your snow serpents. Just giving free advice out to Hasbro if they want it, but they probably won't. So anyway, yeah, there's the Avalanche response, and we also have the Arctic Hiss as well, which looks phenomenal. I am such a simp for an Arctic Hiss, and it still hasn't sunk in that they are making my favorite Hiss tank. That's not that hasn't sunk in yet, because it's one thing to have, like, I don't know, Tiger Force Outback in the line in like the first couple of years. That was amazing. But it's one thing to have that. It's another thing to be very specifically like, oh, they're never ever going to do the Arctic Hiss tank, and then lo and behold, I'm looking at an Arctic Hiss tank. It's like, what? And then to do it with the missile weapon system and the kind of like set and like the the side elements, the wrap and the kind of like racks and everything, to do it all and to update the deco so it's not just all white, it's got like something interesting going on. I don't know, I feel like that, and it's not like I even said to Hasbro at any point, I want you to make the Arctic Kit. There was never any like dialogue like that. So this just feels like the most serendipitous thing personally for me. Even if, like, and I know a lot of people are, take it or leave it kind of with the Arctic Hiss, but man, I'm blown away that it's happening. Really am. Still haven't got over it. Here's Iceberg, who's got himself in a bit of bother. That's going to hurt. And the polar bear, who might make it worse, and Timber, who might save the day. Is it Timber, or is it? It is Timber, right? I can't actually tell. It might be. I might just my eyes might be playing tricks on me, and it could be Sandstorm, but I can't actually tell. I can't tell looking at that image on the screen. Oh, that's Timber. That's Timber all day long. Thanks, eyes. Chris, I'd have thought your favorite would be Eco One. I do the Eco One is a close second, actually. Crimson. But you're not far off. Yeah, I've had this conversation quite a lot actually. If you go check out I did a video with Pat and Phil over AR for Armor actually, and we did like this long video series, a group of different videos on the Vamp, the Hiss Tank, and then sort of like a versus sort of thing. And it came up a few times in there that the Arctic was my favorite, Eco was a close second, and then like it's funny, like for me, like I'm one of those people that seems to like variations of things, redecos of things. I'm a big Tiger Force fan in general. I like, and this isn't necessary. I mean, it's related, but like in terms of like football kits, for example, I'm a Manchester United fan. I always seem to like our away kits more than I like our home one, and that might be because like red's a little bit like in your face. But I love our away kits a lot of the time, and I'm always like trying to get the away shirt. So yeah, variations on a theme is something I'm very kind of like all about. And the Arctic Hiss does more for me than the regular Hiss does. The Eco or the Septic Tank does more than the Hiss Tank does for me. Yeah, just weird, I guess. Just weird. Anyway, so there's that. Um, King Cobra Commander, of course. No, I'm afraid, guys, the the crown is not removable. Could you imagine? After all that, turns out they've just glued it on in production. No, it is removable. I'm only joking, of course. But he looks fantastic. Really dope pose in that. It's hard to pose a character sitting down and actually make them look really cool and intimidating. And they have nailed that there. Looks fantastic. Um, I'm just a younger collector. Am I? Really? I've been here since day one-ish. Um, I was collecting Palace Action Man, I'll have you know. Anyway, yeah. So fantastic. And look, the little Fatal Fluffy. Look at him holding that little note like an absolute angel. We have Action Man here as well, keeping it gangster. I will say, and I'm just going to say it here, I have this action figure on my desk at work. It's phenomenal. Again, Tiger Force Outback, um, Tiger Force Outback, Action Man, and an Arctic Hiss, and I feel like someone might be paying too much attention to the things I say on these channels, but yeah, love it. Do I think they would reissue the throne with Serpentor? Don't know actually. I don't know why I'm going so high pitched on that one, Big Jeff. I don't know. I wonder if that throne will show up again at some point, though. Maybe if they did a redeco of that particular Cobra Commander, Serpentor's a good shout if they ever redid Serpentor. But I could see Serpentor showing up on. I could see Serpentor showing up in like a retro card. No Air Chariot, just Serpentor, different deco. I could see that happening. He does look like he's tied himself up, Ted. Action Man, he does. He'll get out of it. He's capable. Here's Dusty on the Varmint, just mixing things up here on this display, aren't they? This was still in preview night, by the way. There's Dusty looking cool and ripped. I think Bees Battlegrounds actually just posted a review of this as well. I just shared the turnaround on Instagram. But yeah, was it Shark Eyed Toy View, Bees Battlegrounds? They're all getting these early. It drives me insane, he says, having been around a lot of these figures for the last couple of months. This one's cool as well. The shot, anyway, of these. Again, thanks to Travis Moody for these. Oh, is it a different color timber? Interesting. I don't know if that's a reveal or anything, because I don't know of any other. Well, I don't know of any other timbers coming, or do I? Or do I? Maybe they snuck that in as some sort of like accident. I must admit, it might have been. It was weird that I did second guess myself on what that timber was, but maybe it is slightly different. Have we found something here, guys? Have we found something interesting and weird here? Oh well, it might just the other thing it could be is it could be like one of those ones where they just grabbed what they had and it just happened it wasn't like a production version, it was like a developmental version or something. So it could just be that. It could just be a an older what's the word? Deco sample or something that's slightly different. Chris, would they give you boats and hoss if you asked? And ho oh, sorry, is the yeah, I see. I said hoss. That's how that's how that's how innocent I am. Black 2000 Deco for Serpentor or differently gold Serpentor. I like the thought of both of those actually, Ryan. The version on display is incompetent action man because the blast effect shows his first few shots going into his sandbags too. Yeah, they really were trying to make him as clumsy as me, weren't they? I get what they're trying to do there. Um, I don't understand why not re-release the Chariot. The mold is made, and lots of people don't have one. The price has skyrocketed on eBay. No, I'm not saying they shouldn't do that. Lego Star Wars Kid. I'm saying I like my expectation is that they'll do sort of like a Serpentor again, but maybe without it. Um, would it be cool for them to do the whole thing? Yeah, I think so. Especially if it was done differently, like redecoed to some degree, something different about it. It would be kind of cool to do a whole redeco, like a complete redeco on Serpentor, like Python Patrol, which I know people have an issue with sometimes, but doing something like that and making his air chariot like pretty dope would be amazing. I'd love to get a different version of that air chariot, to be fair. Yeah, Troy, Python Patrol Serpentor, indeed. Um, right, let's move, keep moving. This is the Vamp, of course, the Vamp Mark II, and Sundown, of course, there in the background. We have Deep Six, Techno Viper, and Wild Bill. We've seen all these before. Let's move onto in and around Tomb Raider, Lara Croft, and Retro Card as well. Now, a few people had mentioned that because she was on a retro explosion on the render, maybe she was getting a retro card, and I was like, um, maybe. I wasn't actually aware this was gonna happen. I didn't know about this. So, that's kinda cool. I thought she'd just be in because she was a deluxe-ish figure, because 'cause she's got a lot of gear. I thought there'd be a different package scenario going on here, but they've gone and done it and stuck her on a retro card. Um, what was a rough launch, Roger? What was I talking about? Serpentor? I can't remember what I was talking about that required the rough launch scenario. The comment. I'm still waiting for shirtless Serpentor. Oh hell yeah! Sign me up for that last weekend, Ryan. Um, no matter how, no matter how you were going to end up with that, it was going to be said by Kitty. Indeed, Scott. Oh, the Tomb Raider one. Was it a difficult launch? Was it? I didn't have an issue with it at all. I thought it was weird that we were getting Uh, I thought it was weird that we were getting, later in the day, um, pre-order kind of thing. Oh, Amazon and BTS both glitched. I wasn't aware of that. I was in my own world then. I just ordered mine on Pulse and moved on. Um, she's already up. She's already up, out, and sold out. And GameStop still has her. That's cool. I will say though, don't worry. I imagine that even though she sold out, there'll probably be more that appear. It's always the case for a lot of these ones. So yeah, which kind of crazy though, kind of crazy. I don't know what I was expecting with Lara Croft, But I guess because it's sort of like interesting, it's different. It's not just G.I. Joe fans, but obviously Tomb Raider gamers and stuff, Tomb Raider fans. Covers maybe like a bit of a broader um arena and what have you. So yeah. Um I kind of like it when they sell out, but then obviously I do feel for the people that missed out, for sure. But yeah, it's one of those. This is one of those ones where I would stay frosty on this one because she could show up again, and if you follow the right people, aka Sharp Sneaky Links, Preternia, um, there's loads of others. I can't think off the top of my head now, but those two are great. Shout out to Roger as well in the chat. But yeah, like follow those guys. You'll see more links, see more butts. You'll see more links pop up for her, I think, as they kind of like trickle in. What is she on in terms of format? She's everywhere. She's almost like mainline. And oh, I should say she will be at NYCC physically. The figures should be in hand to purchase at NYCC. So there will be more of these for sure, to kind of get your hands on. So again, like, yeah, bear that in mind. There will be more Lara Crofts to come, even though she sold out. Now I can bring my Lara Croft Sergeant Slaughter Dream Wedding to life, says Ryan. Amazing. Yeah, so there you go. Phenomenal. And she looks great. I think she looks, as a figure, I think she looks freaking awesome. Like, great design, loads of cool gear. It's 100% Lara Croft, and she's in the Classified series, and I'm really, really happy about it. Loads of cool stuff. You got the quiver, arrow, the bow, obviously. You've got that. I forget the name of the dagger. Someone will remind me. It's got a weird kind of like hard to pronounce name. And then of course the pistols, you got backpack, rope, of course, the pickaxe type dealies, you got the little handle and grappling hook element so that you can obviously tie the rope to either side. Jian, thank you, Bias, the dagger of Jian. And of course the alternate hands and the alternate head, which is cool with the little headset. I kind of like the thought of the figure with the headset in the Dragonfly with Wild Bill as well, or with Glenda, just like or maybe have Lara with the headset on with the harness, and I can finally utilize the harness for something, which is hanging off the bottom of my Dragonfly, unfilled, because I never really thought that there's so many other character figures and what have you doing other things. So Lara can hang from the Dragonfly for a bit if she wants. This is top 2 prettiest figure, says Lego Star Wars. I think she looks great for sure. Here's a shot here of her front and back. Yeah, again, phenomenal design, brilliant figure. A really great inclusion to the line, I think. Just fantastic stuff. Is she actually on Amazon? She isn't showing up. It's weird, isn't it? Sometimes I can't search for stuff on Amazon, Walmart, Target. It's like almost impossible to search for things. You have to. It's better off that you find like links via, like I said, if you check out Preternia, Sharp, Sneaky Links, those kind of guys, you should be able to find the links that you're looking for. But yeah. Not in the Dragonfly, Chris, but hanging off the skid. Exactly, Bad Wolf. Exactly. She's going to be on that harness, I'm telling you. She should have gripping hands instead of the fists, in my opinion, but really for $60, she should have like 4 sets of hands, Marne says. Yeah. Well, that's another point, isn't it? I haven't mentioned that yet. But yes, the price point was definitely one of a bone of contention. And I have to admit that it is a lot for like the figure, and I mean it is like I'm going to use deluxe in quotation marks. She comes with more stuff than your usual single figure, right? But that said, deluxe figures aren't that much. Do you know what I mean? Like that seems very high. Now, obviously, it's Tomb Raider, so there's a license fee on top of this one. So I imagine that obviously brings it up a bit. But I'm still with you guys on that one. That is a high price. Again, you're dealing with bloody you're dealing with a corporation who are going to want to try the most in terms of cost and pricing. So and she sold out. So it's one of those things where they tried it and it for their point of view, it was a success. So damn. It obviously wasn't high enough in terms of price to put enough people off and and kind of prevent like that from happening again. But I don't know. It's one of them things, isn't it? What can I say? What can we all say about it other than being annoyed about it? And it is annoying. I'm with you on that one. Like I don't know. I don't have to keep paying crap tons for each and every figure. You know, like I get the occasional one here and there that I might get as a I don't know, like in a pulse box or what have you, and you look behind me or whatever. But we haven't had one of those for a while. Um, but yeah, like for the most part, I'm pre-ordering everything as well. And when you see the prices on a lot of them and they're all skyrocketing in general, it's rough. And then if you're collecting more than one thing, that's also difficult because then you're having to think about, well, space, cost, what do I have to pare down? Do I have to just really think about what I'm, spending money? You kind of have to do that anyway. But I feel like it's a lot harder now to do that. Prices have gone way up across the board with not just this Lara figure, but with like all of the figures. And I'm sort of, I don't know, I'm sort of hoping for a little bit of a reprieve at some point, or at least a hold up, just kind of like let's hold fire a little bit. Um, but yeah, don't worry, Huntress. There will be another opportunity for Lara Croft for sure, for sure. Don't worry about it. You'll get her, trust me. Um, yeah, she was sold out fairly quickly. But what I was doing was effectively just waiting for that 5 p.m., jumping on Pulse, refreshing until she just showed up in new arrivals, and bosh. GameStop still has her though, apparently. So go check there if you want to definitely try and get her now. GameStop is where to go. Right, and beautiful promo images of her. I thought these were great. Like that classic of her diving with the pistols just takes me back to that first game. Like diving to the side rolls that she would do. Oh my god, that was so cool. I know that there's been a whole conversation on the Tomb Raider game socials where they've been doing like little behind the scenes discussions about the development of the game and getting the kind of mechanics to the point where we're all sort of um used to like certain things that you expect her to be doing and all that kind of, it's just really cool, really cool. And they were talking about trying to keep some of those elements like the way she moves and jumps and pulls herself up on things and jump rolls and uses her pistols and everything. It was kind of cool. I was mad the Jada Street Fighter loser head pack sold out in a few seconds. No restocks of that. Jada are killing it on Street Fighter, I have to admit. The other thing, yeah, the Street Fighter movie figures were out. I didn't pop them on here, or maybe I'll throw them on tomorrow's news burst because I will be doing a recap of day 2, and I will be obviously be talking. I'll throw the Street Fighter figures in there because they were shown at the press breakfast. I just couldn't get clear images of them in time, and I wanted to make sure I didn't go too late tonight. But I love this Lara Croft, guys. I can't tell you how much I love this Lara Croft. In fact, this Lara Croft and the Action Man, I think, are going to be so cool as a sort of pairing. I don't know. I'm just there's some figures. I keep saying I'm really excited to get certain figures, and then here I sit next to a ton of stuff I haven't opened yet. Hydro Viper, Airtight, two of my favorite figures of all time in Classified because I've seen them. And here we are, like I've got them next to me and I haven't opened them yet. It's almost like I don't want to ruin that, not ruin it. I don't want to I don't know. I don't know. I just it's weird. What's going on? Um yes, looks very cool. Lara teams up with Link to be color coordinated, says Scott. Yes, and also, yeah, the Bloomin' Zelda figures was kind of cool, wasn't it? Matt says Hasbro Street Fighter movie figures look terrible, like Marvel Legends Eternals. I don't think it will go as well as they want it to. No, I think the movie might be kind of cool, but in terms of the figures and stuff, like what I noticed about them is they look very, and it might just be the way they're posing them, but they looked very sort of like stiff-armed, upright, and the heads don't seem to be. The heads don't feel like they're part of the bodies. Do you know what I mean? Like they don't. They feel like two things that shouldn't be together. Like the ultra realistic head sculpts, which are kind of a little bit, I don't know if they've been executed well enough, on these sort of like very stiff bodies. And I know that's not the case. It might just be the way they're posing them. But I'll hopefully that will get a few more like better images and like images of them in better poses as well, because it does make a difference. It really does make a difference when you see a figure posed properly. Um, yeah, that's what I thought initially, Matt, indeed. Who's releasing Zelda figures and when can I pre-order them? Well, bad news for you, Huntress. Although I think they're available on like other places, but they sold out of Pulse. It's Link, Zelda, and yeah, forgotten the big bad's name. Begins with a G. Someone will let me know in the comments. But they already went up on Pulse and sold out. I imagine there'll be more of those though, even on Pulse. Isn't Cody Rhodes playing Guile in the new Street Fighter movie? Yes, he is. Figure 6-pack. Squishy says I'd prefer a proper hard master, soft master rather than those Street Fighter figures. Well, I mean, they're not. Yeah, I think the soft and hard are very likely at some point in the future. Dr. X G.I. Joe classified series would be awesome. I agree, Cold Slither FM. Dr. X and Professor Gangrene, please and thank you. And I want a Dr. X classified figure packaged upside down with his toxic gut feature, because that would be freaking amazing. Ganondorf, thank you guys. In regards to Link and Zelda, right, more, yeah. Why I'm keep going on these tangents. Lara Croft looks great. I really like the bow on this one, by the way. Is this the first time we've seen a bow that actually does that with Classified? I feel like it's been the longest time where we've had to just sort of like pretend they're pulling the bow back, and now she's actually doing that with an arrow in there. Looks so cool. And here she is with the pistols, good poses, the mountain. This is a really cool one with her dropping into like the entrance of the tomb sort of thing. This is really cool. And yeah, all geared up. And there she is, getting the dagger of Xian out. Get your dagger out. Night Force Zartan has it. What does he have? Oh, sorry. Night Force Zartan has a pullback. Well, yeah, he actually has he has a bow with an extra piece that you can replace to make it look like he's pulling it back. But she's actually just pulling that back. I'm not sure the bow is supposed to do that, but it's not like it's the photographer's personal figure he's putting at risk. Not sure who shot these. I think it was Shooting the Galaxy. I think it was Matt. Are you telling me she's raiding a tomb? I am, Roger. But yeah, the pullback bow. Yeah, it's like you're right, absolutely right. Your Lego Star Wars kid. Nightfall Zartan has a sort of additional element that you can add to the bow to make it look like he's doing that. So that's totally. I'm talking about actually a bow that you can, just literally pull back. But as it's been mentioned, it's a bit of a risky move, pulling that one back there. But yeah, good shout though. Very good shout to call that out, because that is an option that we do need to kind of discuss. So, and here she is climbing the old mountain, looking great. Great figures, great figure, sorry. And I am super excited to get this one in hand. Did I say Night Force Sartan like an idiot? I meant Ninja Force Sartan, sorry. Yeah, anyway, I do that a lot. I always say Knight and I always get my Knights and Ninja Forces mixed up. I did that with was it Night Force, Scarlet and Shebang? Wrote that a few times. I wrote that. Get your words right, McLeod. Jada just sent out an email stating that they have gotten an additional allotment of their Sdcc exclusives. Hurrah! I love that Ultra Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition 2-pack with Guile and Bison. Oh, again, I love a bit of variant color. You know how it is. Action Man above her, ready to do the cliffhanger for it. Indeed, Scott. Yeah. Anyway, brilliant stuff. Let's keep moving. Shout out to Travis. As I said before, he took a picture here of him with Mark Beasley and BMAC of the Hasbro G.I. Joe team. And of course, they were the ones that ran the panel today. So just wanted to shout them out all out as well. And thank you to Trav for sending me these pictures. I really appreciate it as well. Also, great to see Mark, who we've only been in contact via email so far. So it's nice to actually see Mark in human form. And also, yeah, of course, BMAC. Get well soon, buddy. Don't know what you did to your wrist, but hopefully that gets fixed soon, because you're going to be needing to open a box of Snowcat soon, aren't you? Anyway, Scott says Ninja Force Zartan has that bow accessory. Yes, he does. We've already discussed that. Have no fear. What I was talking about was, is this the first time we've got a bow that can actually be pulled back by a figure? And I think it might be. Whereas the Night Force Zartan one has an additional element that can be added to the bow to make it look like it's doing that. Yeah, so that's cool. Now the panel. Obviously kicked off. There's a few things I need to say first and foremost about the panel. Loads of stuff going on in the panel today. Loads. We had Cold Slither giving us a sort of like in-person performance again. Turned up, yelled at everybody, looking fantastic as always. And I do love the fact that we live in a world where there is a real Dreadnought Cold Slither band. Like, there's nothing better in life, is there, than that existing in real life. And they had their new single, Cobra Island, which they played during the panel as well, which you can check out on YouTube now. And that was fun. They also had, obviously, the voice of Cobra Commander as Hooded Cobra Commander show up, which was very impressive. And a couple of other people showed up, the real Cobra Commander and a black uniformed Valkyrie cosplay, which was pretty dope as well. So obviously there was a bit of a bit going on that was kind of fun, the kind of fun with Cobra Commanders. That was great. So we had Cobra Commander, a Valkyrie in black. We had the Cold Slither crew, all all doing bits and everything. It was a lot of fun. And of course, I should big shout out to the Sarge, who obviously not only was he there to help reveal the Triple T, which hell yeah, but also was inducted into the Hall of Fame, the G.I. Joe Hall of Fame, not the NBA Hall of Fame, which I got confused at earlier. I was like, oh, that's interesting. What team did the Sarge play for? No, the actual G.I. Joe Hall of Fame. So that was really cool and definitely deserved. So lots of stuff was going on in the panel, and also in the panel, they were talking about figures and releases and pre-orders and showing off stuff. And yeah, it was awesome. So yeah, it was a lot. There was a lot going on, I will say. And they introduced new members of a new member of the design team, of course, who actually had it on here, but I thought it was going to be first, but I must have put that image later. So we'll have to wait for that. But for now, they showed obviously the Falcon, Valkyrie, and Flash figures on retro cards. and they explain that pre-orders will be Tuesday, July 28th at 1 p.m. So yeah, and again, like the promo images for the retros are kind of basic. It's just on the black backgrounds or the explosion backgrounds most of the time. Don't think BMAC mentioned the future of HasLab. I listened to the convention, the panel on the way home from work today as well, because when I watched it the first time, the audio was so bad I couldn't actually hear it. So I just watched it. And so the second time I actually listened to it and got obviously a few more bits and pieces. But no, he didn't mention anything about the HasLab possibly happening again. Do you think we'll get mainline Flash and Zap release? Asks Crom. I don't know actually. I don't know. I don't know if it's something that they're. You mean like kind of more classified up? Do something a little bit different with them? Possibly in the future, but I don't think in the near future necessarily. Crom. Um, Kind of surprised how many Sergeant Slaughter figures we have. Will have says 77 T John. Yeah, quite a lot now. What, 5 is it? Probably more than that actually. But anyway, pre-order Tuesday 28th at 1 p.m. Eastern for those retros. They also revealed the Crimson Snake armor promo images, looking cool. Trash in the city. Again, it's a snake armor in red, isn't it? It's not much more we can talk about that. Other than a great Palatoy homage to the escape armor. And I will definitely be using this in and around Red Shadows related figures from Skeletron and Big Bad Workshop, obviously. So that's cool. And of course, a couple other shots, the interior and the back of the Crimson Snake armor there as well. Very cool indeed. Lovely stuff. And that will be an Amazon exclusive with the pre-order Tuesday, July the 28th at 1 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday, innit? I like saying Tuesday because Americans think it's hilarious when I say it because I'm British. And I say in it, bruv. There's a snake armor in the Psst, Chris, there's a snake armor in the pic. I know, Scott, the first time we've got snake armors in the background and I'm not even talking about it. That's irony right there. Irony. Yeah, that's an Amazon exclusive, so bear that in mind when pre-ordering on July 28th, 1 p.m. Eastern. With because it'll be a partner exclusive, so it should be on Pulse in tiny amounts, like everything else is, right? Should be. I believe so. Right then. Then we also got, of course, the 2-pack with, oh, well, 3-pack technically, of Footloose, Mutt, and Junkyard for the Marauders. So that completes the Marauders team, which is I'm excited to do. Like again, I'm very much a box ticker, very much scratching an itch kind of guy, and that's what this set is doing for me for sure. And I can't wait to have my little team of Marauders all together and probably around the Triple T because it would be great to have them all together with the Sarge in the Triple T, like full team going on. Zelda figures are still on BBTS. Thank you, Huntress. That's good to know, actually. That the 2-pack is going to be a Fanmazon shared exclusive, so that will be everywhere and fan channel, Amazon, everywhere pretty much in that format. Tuesday, July 28th, 1 p.m. as well. Whew. Falcon is still needed in Marauders. You're right, Crimson. There's a few you could do. You could do Falcon. You could do Hardball now. You could do the Renegades. And you could do Sergeant Smasher. And I think you could incorporate more people into the Marauders, like, say, for example, CoverGirl. I think CoverGirl would be a great introduction to the Marauders team. Tank kind of situation, should be perfect for like one of the vehicles. I 100% think CoverGirl should be in the Marauders, and that would give you 7 more figures to incorporate into the team. But what they mean is they've completed the vintage Slaughter's Marauders team, is what they mean. Anyway, yeah, the chassis of a tank was in the Marauders Steps toys indeed. I saw they were giving out fridge swag at Sdcc. Yeah, it wasn't Hasbro doing that. It was the fridge guy who's trying to get fridge in the line and everything, which I think is a very awesome thing. I really want Fridge to be in the classified series. But like I said, I think it's one of those things where I don't know the details, but it seems from outside looking in that he probably isn't up for doing that or doesn't want to get involved in that, and that's totally fine, isn't it? Um, I've been saying that for 3 straight days, Chris, and you've ignored the comment every time. Which one? I'm not like, I'm trying to see all the comments, so I'm not trying to do anything like that. Like, I'm not ignoring it. I'm just either not seeing it, skipping ahead a little bit because I'm behind, or, whatever, but I'm not ignoring anything. Yeah, it was a fan crom, absolutely. Marauder's toll booth. Cobra had better pay the toll fee. Yeah, toll booth would be cool, figure six pack, for sure. Chuckles would be good in the Marauders, actually, Cols. I mean, a lot of figures would look good in Marauder decos. Snake Eyes, what? But yeah, Toll Booth hard top 2-pack, Hard Hat Squadron Steps Toys would be amazing. Anyway, that's the 2-pack. Then, of course, we got the Sarge introduced into the Hall of Fame as well, of course, which was great. And then we got the Triple T and the new Sarge revealed. Now, I have been on, record as saying I'm not a massive fan of the Sarge in this set. It feels a little bit sort of like basic to me. Like I would have been nice to get something a little bit more like, a little bit different. Effectively, it's a redeco of the Desert Sarge, is what it, if you really boil it down, because it's the heavy duty body, Sarge head, and yeah, just like a very basic black kind of sleeveless shirt and the camo pants. Obviously the thingy helmet, the tank helmet's cool with at ease written on it. That's a nice little addition. So I will be probably utilizing that helmet just to make it different in some way. But the Triple T itself is the real hero in this set for me. We've got a ton of decent Sarge figures, so we can see the back section folded down in the same way that the Cup Transformers collab does, with the little computer screen on there, which is really, really cool. Can I confirm the tracks move? They certainly do. The Triple T has working tracks, Tony, and I will say probably some of the best track treads I've seen on a vehicle thus far. Yeah, it's really cool. I've had this in hand and it's phenomenal. I'm so excited for the Triple T. I can't even get my hat on. See, it's kind of poking off. Too bad it's not the USA Sarge, but I think it's rights issue. Possibly Michael, possibly. But also they had planned and costed out a jacket for this particular version of the Sarge. But like I said, it got costed out, which is a bit of a shame. And I think that would have been enough for me. The tank helmet and like a really cool sort of bomber jacket, and I would have been all over that as a new different Sarge for sure. Anyway, I guess the helmet kind of sort of makes him look like heavy metal a little bit. Yeah, I think that the helmet for me is what I'm, you know, definitely where I'm kind of like leaning. I don't think he'll have his cover on, is what I'm getting at, just to make him different from the rest of the Sarges. But he looks really cool, and the Triple T looks really cool in any case. And yeah, those tracks, those treads, really, really sweet, smooth, and very cool motion on them. Yeah, and that is a Pulse exclusive with a pre-order of Wednesday, August the 12th at 1 p.m. Eastern. So a little bit of a wait on that one, but I like that they're spreading it out a little bit. It does help, doesn't it, when you're getting all these. Chris, I think Sergeant Slaughter is probably being saved between still have a few years of Sergeant Slaughter. Yeah, that's a good point as well. Like, you don't want to do lots of different slaughters that need to be done. I will say, like, the Warthog Sarge and the USA Sarge are the two big ones, I would say, that need to be done eventually. Warthog, definitely want to save that for the Warthog, 100%, because I think the Warthog is definitely a possibility in the line eventually. It would have to be like maybe a HasLab or an MTO, but I think it's possible, and I want that to happen so much. As for the Sarge himself, like I said, I think if they'd have got that jacket costed in this, if they'd have been allowed to get that jacket in there, I'd have been all over this as a new Sarge to go with the tank. But because it's not with it, and I knew it was coming with, I saw that it was going to come with it, has sort of made it a bit more disappointing for me. And the fact that it is a straight repaint of the Desert Sarge, it just takes the edge off a touch. But yeah, you're going to display in classic look or classified look for the Triple T. I'm gonna have him with his at ease helmet in the Triple T, with the Marauders team around him, and I'm gonna have oh no, oh, that's a really difficult thing because I've got the Marauders Sarge. He needs to be with his Marauders. Okay, okay, new plan. Marauder Sarge with the Triple T, with the Marauders team around him for display purposes, and regular first classified Sarge with like the Sunbow team of figures, which is hard to really put your finger on as well, isn't it? Then obviously Desert Sarge in the desert, that helps. Um, and then the Sarge that came with the Triple T, I don't know what I'll do with him at all. Maybe he can be working in the motor pool somewhere. I don't know. Arctic Sarge would be wicked, Mark. Now, Arctic Sarge, when I think of Arctic Sarge, I think of like that kind of fluffy bomber jacket, because he shows up in artwork on a mail away leaflet. It was a Canadian one for me because I got like a Canadian version of the Pulverizer, and I got a Canadian version of the Sky Shark. Random as hell, I know. They were import toys at like someplace somewhere. I can't recall exactly where I got each one. I think John Menzies in Scotland was the Sky Shark, and as for the Pulverizer, that was in Birmingham, I think I got that. So weird ass places to get Canadian import toys, but here we are. And in that was a fold out leaflet for a mail away thing. And the Sarge is basically in the Arctic wearing his usual gear with just the jacket over the top, like as if that's going to make any difference. But yeah, that's what I'd love to get an Arctic Sarge in like a big fluffy bomber, like a bomber jacket, would be so cool. And maybe they could revitalize that jacket idea that didn't make it into this particular set, so that we could get an Arctic Sarge eventually. Anyway, anywho'sen, next. Then we have like images again. Thank you to Travis for taking pictures of the box in the panel room. So this is the front of the box with All Striker in the background there, and is that a bridge layer in there? I can see as well. Very nice, bit of a bridge layer. Now that's twice the bridge layer has shown up. I wonder if that means we're getting. Well, again, I don't know if we are getting a bridge layer, to be honest, but I'd love one in the line. I'm not nod winking that one because I don't know. But we have seen a bridge layer now on 2 separate releases. So I don't know. Got to happen at some point, right? Anyway, love the canopy addition to this Triple T. It really makes a difference, I think. And the Triple T looks it's great. It's freaking great. I need this so bad. There is the back of the box as well with the call outs. Got the Sarge with his at ease helmet on. You got the display. I think that's the interior display. I don't think that's the back computer. I can't, because it's not green, is it? I think the interior is green, so that's the interior display, and the front of just a front shot of the vehicle. Anyone make out the number on the Marauders set? Oh, I didn't even think about it. I can't tell. Chris keeps saying anywho'sen, and all I can think of is you are cursed. Indeed. You're watching too much WWE, Bad Wolf, indeed. And of course, the Arctic 3 pack was revealed visually. And of course, we got the Steel Core, the Drift Viper, and the Saw Viper, all kind of like, interacting. Now, this is an interesting set, isn't it? We've had renders for these for the longest time now, and now we get them all on show. I'm still a little unsure as to why all three got the same deco when they're all on different teams. Like, got Joe and two Cobras. Why are we not slightly differentiating their deco? There's one shot here, which I couldn't tell which one was which on the right there. I was like, I kind of like when I really look at it, I can. But I was like, which one's the Steel Core? Which one's the Drift Viper? Which one's the Saw Viper? And that is an interesting way to go with it. But when you put the kind of black pelt on the Saw Viper, it really does make a difference. I know it's like it's a cost saving thing because it's the same paint mask, etc. I get that. What I mean is, like you can save money by doing a 3-pack of Cobras all in the same deco. Do you know what I mean? But to do it like a versus pack and have the same deco is an odd move for me. So yeah, very, very interesting angle to be coming at there. But yeah, they are definitely doing sort of a cost saving measure there to get some Arctic figures out for sure. But yeah, I might. This might be one of those situations. I don't really do this at all, but I might end up adding a bit of color to this steel core figure because I don't mind the Cobras looking identical, but having the steel core looking the same is making me want to change it a little bit, ever so slightly. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. But that Pulse exclusive is a pre-order up on Wednesday, August the 26th. So we've got even further out there, but at least we know when to expect it. So there's going to be some nice little things to look forward to, which is cool. Add a bit of yellow, says Scott. I don't know. What would I want to do with the steel core? I don't know, actually. That's a very good point. Maybe a bit of green in there, actually. A bit of green and white would be nice, I think. Like a little like sage green or sort of like nothing too, not like bright green, but like just like a nice subtle green color in there would be kind of cool. um Windowless box of the Arctic 3-pack, says JR Parker. Yeah, it's a Pulse exclusive though, and the bigger sets, don't always tend to be windowed, do they? I know like the figure in a vehicle set would be windowed, but like we've seen this a few times with multi-packs like this, where it's been, but it's a good point to make actually, because like we've seen a lot. Or maybe it's a sleeve. It might be a sleeve. Could be a sleeve. Should I say sleeve again? Maybe not. I won't say sleeve again. But it could be a sleeve over it, couldn't it? I don't know if they necessarily do that for something like this, but you never know. Could be sleevey. Sleevey Wonder. Mr. Sleevey. Sleeveless in Seattle. I've got more of these if you want me to keep going. No? Okay, we'll move on. I'm not ignoring comments, by the way, guys. I'm just getting overwhelmed at the moment. Sorry. There's a lot coming in and I can't get into all of it. My apologies. I don't know the number, Scott. Sorry. Yellow Snow, indeed, PBJ. I understand that reference. They all shop at the same Polar Sporting Goods store. They do, Huntress. Arctic Steel Core should have had some of Iceberg's colouring on it. That'd be nice, actually, Mark. A little bit of tealy, bluey colour on there would be great. Sleeve it alone, Chris, says Crom. I like it. Sleeve it, Chris, says Scott. Again, a variation of that. Again, I'm into it. I really just want the steel core out of that set, says Lightfoot. Do you mean you want the steel core only, or you want to have him out of that set so that you can focus on the Cobras? You could take that two ways, but I know what you mean, Lightfoot. Yeah, you just want the steel core figure. Still no regular ripcord either. That one's starting to get me nervous. Steps Toys, it's going to happen eventually. I mean, I think one of the comments I've seen is that because of Ripcord's backpack, they like it's harder for them to do like a retro card for him, whatever, because it's like massive, I guess. I don't know about that. I really don't know about that. I kind of want you could always give him a different backpack as well, couldn't you? Let's face it. It would kind of suck if we don't have a parachute because that's the other thing. They've done one parachute so far that doesn't work technically, as a parachute, and was on that one legacy figure. And we've had loads of characters that could very easily have parachutes, and they've decided against it. And I don't understand why. Like, get your parachutes in there, please. Sleeve it to Beaver, says Knock. That's a beauty. That is a beauty. Sleeve and Seagal is another good one, Callister. I like that one too. Retro card predictions for 2027. Ripcord, Baroness, Red Ninja, Iron Grenadier. I'm going to say Rolf, probably not on that, because Retro next year is all going to be 40th G.I. Joe, the movie anniversary, which we'll talk about in a second as well. Okay, now we get into the name-only reveal segment, which is phenomenal. So Hardball, and also listings update, by the way, guys. I know we are breaking into 2027 in a big way. So Hardball was the first one that pops up, and he's getting a baseball bat. Did you hear that? Did you hear that in the panel? He gets a 1/12 scale baseball bat, Hardball, which is a great addition to someone who is effectively a big baseball fan and based on a baseball, kind of vibe. Chris G, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you for all you do, Chris. Great entertainment. Thank you for watching, Chris, and thank you for the super chat. I very much appreciate it. You know I do. I appreciate all your comments, but yeah, like I said, thank you so much for the super chat. That is that's amazing. Anyway, I will continue. Hardball comes with a baseball bat. Kitty said. Next. This is an interesting one. So this particular shipwreck, aka Dollar General shipwreck, beanie hat shipwreck, sweater beanie hat shipwreck. I've heard him described as actually a breacher shipwreck, which is kind of a cool name for him. But yeah, that is another version that we're going to get of the classic character. So yeah, a rugged shipwreck, Scott, indeed, amazing. So that's going to be freaking awesome. And he is coming with a parrot. Did they say it was going to be a different character? Right? They said because again, I think it's a different deco on Polly. But as I could have sworn I heard them say they were going to give it a different name. Yes, I thought I heard that in the old what's it called? In the old panel. Now I know what color scheme it's going to be, which is pretty cool. I won't say anything. I'll let that be a surprise for everybody. But it couldn't be further from Polly, honestly. So I'm kind of glad that they are doing a different character in the same sort of Neol way they did with Spirit. So yeah, that's cool. I will say though, it's the same Polly sculpt, so it's going to have a peg leg. So both, if it's a different character, it's going to have the same peg leg scenario that Polly had, which is kind of funny to me. Not sure if that's funny to you guys. But yeah, effectively a different deco and a different name for the same sculpt, which is hilarious to me. So yeah, Breacher Shipwreck is in there too. Very, very cool indeed. Dana, October Guard is here, guys. How exciting. So yeah, we're getting Dana. We've got an October Guard logo there, which I'm not sure if is like one that they actually are utilizing for it, or if that's just something that they made just for this particular name only reveal. But that might be like the October Guard logo that they'll be kind of putting on the packaging, possibly. I don't know. I'll have to double check on that one. But that's kind of cool. So Dana, we're getting Dana, which is pretty awesome. And they use this particular image of her. So I imagine it's going to look similar to this sort of vibe. Excuse me. Chris, we need shipwreck with a monkey, says Crimson. Yes, we do. Lighthouse Keeper shipwrecks is Lightfoot. I like that too. I'm not reading that, Big Jeff, but I understand. Mad Marauder Spirit, says Crom. Yeah, with Neol, wasn't it? Instead of Freedom. What else did I like they did with Night Force Spirit? Marauder Spirit, Knock, yes, indeed. But he kind of looks a bit Night Forcey, for sure. Do we have a commando sweater body to use for this shipwreck? Yes, right? If not, it'll be new, but either way, it's definitely a ribbed sweater. He's got that sort of like look to it. I can say it's not a Lady J repaint PBJ Street Gang because I've seen her and she's amazing. Do we now? We need Bomb Strike to have the OG running away in terror from her drone. Yes, Steps Toys, indeed. I'd love Bomb Strike actually. Do you think they will do the guard over 2027 year? Do they think they will? Oh, the October guard. I don't think it's just Dana. I'll put it that way. There might be a few more in there. At least one more in there that I'm aware of. But we'll have to wait for more name only reveals to reveal them. We already have a Marauder's Spirit. Yes, we do. Well, I don't know what that's in relation to, Michael. I was talking about Polly being redecoed and called a different name in the same way that Marauder's Spirit and Neol a redeco of Freedom. I was just using that as an example. I don't know in regards to what you're saying there. The October Guard logo needs a backwards letter or something. Yeah, it does, doesn't it, GL? I can't imagine horror show in classified. It's going to be. I can imagine or can't imagine. First version Beachhead had the sweater texture. Yes, he did. Yeah, possible Deep Six later down the line as he looked in the comic. I don't know about that one. I don't know if that would be on the cards necessarily. That's more Super 7 sort of vibe, which they've done, obviously. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. Yeah, maybe. Everything's on the table. So possibly, yet Medic, yeah, I guess. It is always possible. I think it'll go longer than 2027. Got to keep the early comic fans in the line. Oh, yeah, for sure. It will. But like I said, we're getting a few more October Guard, is what I'm saying. Chris, what's the over-under on how many times we'll see Diana typed rather than Dana? In that case, Bad Wolf, all of the times. Because it like loads of autocorrects do that. We're getting to give us Quinn levels that we got to pre-retaliation. Indeed, Steps Toys. I'll spell it Dana, but pronounce it Dinah, says Chucky Tinderbin. I don't know how to. I've always said Dana. Always said Dana. Horror Show could use the Road Pig body. He could, Jay, but he won't. Colonel Brekov is my bet, says Huntress. I haven't heard of Colonel Brekov, but I definitely think he'd be one that they'd want to do. They'd want to do him, Dragonsky, Stormavic, Shrage. They'd want to do all of them at the end of the day. Big Bear's a great shout as well. Red Star too, yeah, for sure. There's loads they could do, but I think Colonel Brekov is a good shout for doing one for sure. Right then, that's Dana. Very exciting. October Guard is in the chat, guys. Has entered the chat. Now, what can I tell you about this? Hot damn! New Dreadnought, Flatline, and all that BMAC mentioned in the panel was a defibrillator hammer, which I've seen and is the most hardcore accessory I think I've ever seen in the line, including Road Pig's like horrible hammer thing, which like pig hammer, which would do so much damage. But yes, I've seen Flatline and hot friggin' fudge. Are you guys in for an absolute treat? Now, I I kind of thought Synapse would get a bit of a mixed reaction. I thought people would be like down for it though, because he's so kind of crazy and weird and loads of stuff is going on with him. So I kind of figured there'd be in general, there'd be like a really, really cool feeling towards him. It definitely was mixed. Some people liked it, some people loved it, and some people hated it. It was like a bit like Marmite. I don't think the same thing's going to happen with Flatline. I think people are just going to be like, yeah, this is rad. So, yeah, I think the new characters they're bringing into the Classified series are just knocking it out of the park for me. Just so good. And yeah, I love Synapse, but Flatline is something else. So yeah, I'm not going to say any more, but I think you're going to friggin' love it. So who's the new female character going to be then, Chris? good question. I'm trying to think if I know that question. I know the answer to that question. Or okay, yeah. I do know what there is going to be a new female in the line. But I can't say obviously what it is yet. But it won't be too far away in terms of name onlys and renders and what have you. Probably early next year, we'll probably see that particular name at least. Better than Crystal Ball, says Seth Van Boeven. It depends how you look at it, but this one's going to be absolutely insane. Badwall says, Chris, you can say whatever you want. If it's a new figure, how would we know if you're lying? Yeah, but I don't. It comes with defibrillator hammer. That's all you need to know right now. There's loads of other cool stuff with it, but he's amazing. Anyway, that's Flatline. Very exciting new character. Heat Viper, guys. High explosive anti-tank, right? So yeah, very, very cool. Heat Viper is entering the 2027 first wave of figures mainline and is epic. Epic indeed. Another one that I've seen and just fawned over. So yeah, we're in for treats and fun. I said the magic word. Hopefully Annie doesn't run down the stairs now like expecting something. But yeah, absolute treats and fun for everyone, for all the family with the Heat Viper. Just perfection executed. He's up there with my airtight wetsuit Hydro Viper vibes in terms of just like you took the vintage one and you've given me it just perfectly in 6-inch form. So thank you very much for that. Now this was the one that was a lot of people in the comments were calling this. And yeah, Snake Eyes and Jinx is the other Vavoom 2-pack on the listings. Now the images they use are interesting because obviously, yes, it is Ninja Force Snake Eyes that we see there, but that Jinx ain't anything like the Jinx that comes in this 2-pack is all I'll say to that. So it's a really cool version of Jinx, but she ain't be looking anything like that. I'll tell you that much. All right. So the Ninja Force 2-pack is really cool. It's almost like if Jinx were in Ninja Force back in the day, what would she kind of look like? What a different version of Jinx would look like in the Ninja Force. So it's kind of cool. So I think you guys are again going to be in for a treat on that one. And Snake Eyes is perfection in Ninja Force form. Anyway, Badwell says, and still no version 3 Snake Eyes. Well, as Pat would say, they're saving the best till last, even though they've already done the best in version 4. Are we finally getting Retaliation Jinx in that final battle outfit? No. This is something very different than any Jinx we've ever had. So I'll tell you that too. It's not anything we've had deco-wise. It's not anything we've had design-wise. It is something very, very different indeed. So yeah, brace thine-selves is all I will say on that one. But it's a dope 2-pack, and it's really like Target are gonna absolutely smash that one. It's Snake Eyes, for goodness sake. Of course, it's going to be popular. But anyway, very excited for that, and of course, unlocked on the old listings. And we were told that, of course, next year is the 40th anniversary of the movie, the G.I. Joe movie. Also, I say it should be AKA the G.I. Joe movie. It was actually originally the Action Force movie, wasn't it, guys? The overdub version. And yeah, so 40th anniversary of the G.I. Joe movie is happening, and that means that the retro line is going to get effectively figures from the movie in the retro card back line as a general rule. So that will be the 40th in a nutshell for classified next year, which is kind of exciting because I do like to be beside the seaside. I do like the retro figures, and I do like some of the retro ones they do. But a lot of the time, I'm left a little bit sort of wanting because it's like the sort of Wild Bill. I was kind of like, whatever. Retro Bat, okay. Like at least we've got a red mask for like a red faceplate for that. Cool, I guess. but like what's the other ones? Like Techno Viper Grunt, okay. Snow Serpent was missing, accessories that should have had retro accessories. The eel was a reissue, but a good one because people needed the eels, of course. But it was like, okay, what is what it is, isn't it? Um, sometimes they hit an absolute banger, and things that are necessary, like a Chrome Mask Cobra Commander, for example, that's a good one to do. There are more, obviously. Zap, obviously getting that OG 13 completed, of course. But when, like, for the most part, I'm not always super enthused. I'm not always like, oh, this is the best ever. This current wave, like Falcon, the Valkyries, and Flash is pretty strong. I'm gonna say that, that's a pretty strong lineup. There have been strong waves from retro. Absolutely, don't get me wrong, but for the most part, it's always like, again, like ticking a box, or it's something that is not. Was it worth it? Do we need that? And that does come up quite a lot. So the fact that we're going to get 40th anniversary specific GI Joe the movie stuff, White Shirt Chuckle springs to mind, Retro Jinx springs to mind. Yeah, the Cobra La figures, absolutely, sort of like different decos and what have you. Serana, anyone that's in the movie, pretty much, that has any significant role. Some that just have any role. Duke would be cool with like a blood, like a hole here and a snake that goes into it. Would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Yeah, all the Winter Jacket crew, like Cobra Commander, Destro, Baroness, etc. Yes, indeed. But Mindbender in that purple ensemble. Yes, please and thank you. Yeah, Globulus would be great next year. Obviously not in the retro. He wouldn't be a retro carded figure, but you never know. Could be like a deluxe thing or whatever in another capacity to kind of hit the 40th. Because I mean, we've got everyone else from the Cobra La faction, haven't we? Pretty much. So 40th anniversary, I would be so unbelievably disappointed and a little bit surprised if we didn't see Globulus next year as well. I'm really, really surprised. Um, anyway, that's it. Bathing suit Zarana. Um, yeah, but anyway, that's really cool, really exciting. Retro led, of course, 40th. Lovely stuff. Okay, render reveal. Here's the big one. This was a big reveal, and I think it kind of really is one of those things that is it's been on the cards for ages. People have wanted this more than anything. We're finally getting the Dreadnought Thunder Machine, and it's got a lot of extra elements which you can actually take off to get a more kind of classic vibe going. But I do like what they've done here. The sort of like that crazy element on the front, sort of like a what is that? Like a snowplow sort of vibe. Um, but worse. Very, very cool indeed. And yeah, but a little a little side note just thrown out there, as if by, just hoping no one really noticed. Thrasher will be coming in 2027, but not with the Thunder Machine. Now, that's crazy to me, honestly. Now, I think what they're trying to effectively say is that with Thrasher in the set, it would have been quite expensive. So they took maybe Thrasher out to bring that cost down for the vehicle. And then you effectively have Thrasher within a line that you probably would have purchased anyway, right? So yeah, Cowcatcher, thank you, Squishy. But like, yeah, also don't forget, poor image. It's only a render. The product will vary. It's not going to look necessarily like that. There's a lot of elements here. Don't forget. People saying it's a bit too narrow at the front, but again, it might just be the angle and also the illusion of the cowcatcher doing some stuff there, being a little bit thinner than the front, making it look a little bit like it's coming to a point at the end. I think this is going to look phenomenal. Still, I wouldn't worry too much about that. So yeah, so I think in this particular scenario, I think they were looking out for us in a way, but I'm still a little bit perplexed because I think it should. I think the figure should be in there. But again, I think for costing, they're making sure that they're keeping the cost down on the Thunder Machine, and the the figure being like a mainline figure later down the road. I'm okay with it. I've come to terms with it. I've known about this for a while, obviously. I've probably come to terms with it at this point. This is very fresh for a lot of people, and I understand that it could be a little bit like "Ugh," a bit like why. But it's sort of like I'm looking at it from a Dragonfly Airborne perspective right now. But yeah, Tony says every vehicle render has looked narrow. It's always perfect with the actual product. Yeah, I think that's a very good point. This one, I don't. They have said there's going to be more details with this particular, more information, more details about how they're going to do this. I believe this is made to order, so it's a made to order listing, as far as I'm aware. And we will be looking at the listings in a sec as well to unlock a few, which is kind of fun. I always like unlocking the listings. But anyway, that is the Thunder Machine. Massive render to really sort of like blow us all away at the end, and exciting stuff. Then, of course, we have the updated images from after the panel where they added all of the figures, the new figures, there's Triple T, and everyone else basically to the display. So we've got the Triple T and the Sarge here looking really cool in that space. I think people were looking at that space and going, there's definitely going to be a vehicle there. I had a few people message me saying, are they going to put the Thunder Machine there? And I was like, not quite. But keep your eye, keep watching. So yeah, MTO in September for the Thunder Machine. Thank you, Stanley. Coolsies. Anyway, beautiful. The Triple T, doesn't it look great? Like, I don't know. I just think the Triple T looks phenomenal. They said no electronics on it, says Chucky Tinderbin. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's correct. Yeah. If you're insinuating something else, Chucky Tinderbin, I will say that if I have mentioned electronics in other vehicles in the past, it wasn't for the Thunder Machine. Yes. Anyway, looks amazing, that Triple T. I think it's just a really cool silhouette vibe, and I think the canopy does so much to make this such a cool vehicle. And yeah, really happy with it. And a couple more shots, of course, of the display sort of like actually fully put together, because some of the images we were looking at before, the Crimson Snake armor was literally laying on its back. So that's up now and fighting things. And the snowboard is stuck in the cloudy snow as well. There it was laying on its back. Look, amazing. Just more shots here of the Triple T as well, and the Sarge. Another Triple T shot, lovely stuff. And the last thing I wanted to talk about, is it coming up soon? Oh, well, can't tell because it's not showing me on my slideshow. Thank you very much. We'll go on anyway. Oh, I didn't have it in there. Okay, so I did have the image in here, but they also revealed the newest member of the team for the GI Joe design team, Eric Siebenala. So Eric will be taking over from Lenny, and had a great little speech in the panel. Sorry, I don't have an image. He was in my slideshow. I don't know what happened. He was in my slideshow. I must have I was putting other images in, put it in over the top by accident. But I'll add that into tomorrow's burst. But yes, Eric had a great little segment in the panel where he talked about being a lifelong GI Joe fan, and paid a lot of like respects to Lenny and the great stuff that he's done and will still be seeing for a little while to go. And Eric's can obviously help bring that to life as well, and then go from there. So it's all exciting times, really. So yeah, that was really cool. I'm gutted I bloody didn't put it in there. Crum says, so one thing not revealed yet, question mark. What does that mean? Oh yes, on the listings. Yes. So the leak listings. I added an element to this one. You may have seen, had to include the Range Viper, which was separate to the listings. Wasn't obviously on the listings. That's the Wes Elliott listing, which we've got there. F7736 Walmart Range Viper reissue, and both of those, Range Viper and Psych Out, are green. That means we do have JJ Ghost, which is a Walmart exclusive, which is still yet to be revealed. That will be Walmart Collecticon in the fall. So we've still got a little bit of time to wait on that one, and no name only reveal has been for that one, so that's still unknown. But yes, J.R. Parker, it is Diatech something. I will go that far and say it is a Dire related character, which is very, very cool indeed. Now, everything else obviously has been updated. Tomb Raider I've put in green now because she's gone up for pre-order. She's not NYCC exclusive, obviously. She is effectively a mainline figure, and she will have physical um, figures in at NYCC. So, like I said, there's more to come with Lara Croft and Tomb Raider, and I expect to see them showing up again in other places. If you missed out the first time, there will be another option for sure. Anyway, so that's that. What else was I going to say? We also I put Shipwreck Cadet Deming and the Fatal Fluffies in green as well because they're obviously on sale at the show. So even though they're not up for pre-order on Pulse yet, that will be following the show, probably on the 28th with everything else as well. Um, I just put them in green because they're effectively available to purchase at the convention as we speak. So the only things left, of course, are the Retro Wave Falcon Valkyrie's Flash, which go up in pre-order on the 28th. Snake Eyes and Jinx, which is for Target, and that will be a little bit further down the line, of course, because they were only a name-only reveal today. And what else? Yes, Footloose and Mutton Junkyard, they go up. The Triple T will be in August, Arctic 3-pack in August, and the Crimson Snake Armor as well on the 28th. So we're all kind of like, we're getting there. 2026 is nearly fully unlocked, which is amazing. It's not bats, by the way, guys. So yeah, cool. That's 2026, almost done and dusted and covered in mustard. Now, we still will get reveals of product in 2026 that are just not on this list because they're in hand for 2027, guys. And here we can unlock the first wave of mainline figures in 2027. Hardball is Kermit. Shipwreck is Miss. Dana is Fozzie. Flatline is Gonzo. And Heat Viper is Ralph. So that is the first wave, 5-figure wave unlocked. And if you cast your eyes over to the right-hand side, you'll see the Thunder Machine unlocked as that Pulse G4315 MTO unknown listing. I should put MTO on there, shouldn't I? I'll put MTO on there. Effectively, it's the same thing. It's Pulse. So yeah, lovely stuff. And yeah, and there you have it. A big chunk of 2027 just got unlocked. That's exciting, I think, personally. I think that's exciting. Now, as more information comes out, more name-only reveals are kind of thrown out there. We've still got like the whole fall circuit. There'll be an unboxing for the Snowcats soon. So with that, there might be a name-only reveal on that. You never know. They might even do a render reveal on that. Who knows? Yeah, all possible options to come. And anyway, it's just nice to see a bit of yellow on this page for the first time in the year. July? It's taken to July the 23rd to get the first unlocks on 2027, but they're done, dusted, and covered in yellow mustard. Right, that is everything. A couple more elements, of course. I've updated the name only reveals section. And I've thrown Thrasher in there because effectively he was name only revealed. He just wasn't in he wasn't in the friggin' what do you call it? In like the name only reveal section, but he was name only revealed. So he's getting thrown on there. Hardball, Dana, Shipwreck, the Snake Eyes and Jinx 2-pack, which I've merged together, as you can see there. And then, of course, Heat Viper, Flatline, and Thresher. No image for Flatline, but I might do something really sneaky and do like a silhouette to really start messing with people on that. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not that bad. Yeah, there you go. So that's the name only reveals section, looking a lot thicker than it was yesterday, wasn't it? Because when I posted yesterday, when we did the news burst yesterday, there was nothing on it. It was empty. It was clear. It's the first time ever that's ever happened, I think. Then, of course, the digital renders and revealed figures I've updated. Obviously, Tomb Raider removed. I removed the Sdcc exclusives because they're now available at the show. So I kind of feel like they're, sorted now. Obviously, the Sarge goes up for pre-order in August. Mutt Junkyard Footloose, the retro figures there, and the Crimson Snake armor will go up on the 28th. The Arctic 3-pack, August, and the Thunder Machine is on there for September. So there you go. When is the Skybound panel? Saturday, I want to say. Friday or Saturday, I want to say. I think they were coy with the Thrasher reveal, Chris. No, they weren't. He literally said it's coming in 2027. He literally couldn't have said it any more outlandishly blatant than he did. Anyway, I didn't see the panel itself, but in the recap video, BMAC was way more coy about Thrasher. No, he literally, I listened to the panel and he said Thrasher is coming in 2027. He literally shouts it out. But there you go. Oh, is he confirmed it on socials as well? I've not been on socials for ages because I've been planning this. And let's have a look. What we've been saying. What we've been saying. Anything cool pop up? I can't actually see anything that BMAX posted today. So, but yeah, in definitely in the panel he did, because I was listening to it on the way home. I was like, cool, that's going to go in me name onlys. Yeah, I don't see anything. You might have done though. I just can't see it because loads of noise. Is there a recap from the panel? Because I have not seen that yet. So anyway, that's the renders and reveal figures. That's pretty much everything. And that brings us to the close. 2 hours. I thought it was going to be a long one. I'm going to go to bed pretty soon because it's gone 10 now. Bloody hell. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me on the episode today. I will be back tomorrow to recap day dose. And then, I don't know when the Skybound panel is. I think it's Saturday, but I could be wrong. Either way, there's going to be stuff to talk about. There are going to be more images from the floor. Maybe even better images of what we've seen from the panel as well. That stuff I'll be working on, and I'll get that to you tomorrow for an episode. All right then, guys, have a lovely rest of your Thursday evening, what's left of it. I've just decimated it tonight, haven't I? And I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of the evening. Have a great morning and day tomorrow, and I'll see you on the next one. Stay fresh, cheese bags, as it says in the hat. And as always, after 3, you know what to do. 1, 2, 3, full force. Laters. That's it for this installment of the Full Force News Burst. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time, and as always, full force. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos. And as always, you can keep up with the show after listening by following on all of our social platforms, links in the description. And if you would like to contact the show, you can message us on any of those platforms with feedback or questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/The Full Force Podcast, or click the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.